she clicked on video.
She said, "Oh, there you are." In the beginning.
Maybe she was talking about audio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So, what are you guys doing in terms of trying to? I mean, I know there was a big rally a couple of Saturdays ago, right?
Yes, there was.
My friend Susan, who's your friend, sent me some of the pictures from that, and it looked like it was a real good event.
It was amazing. I haven't seen such a rally in this place ever, and I've lived here for over 20 years. It really just sprang up from a lot of small groups that, you know, a lot of women really that were astonished and scared to death at Sarah-Palin becoming vice president. So we had about 1,500 people coalesce around the library, the Lusac Library in Anchorage, and it was amazing, a very powerful event.
No, it's important. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No. What's important? Tell me.
Well, what's important is for the nation to know that Alaska is not sort of monotypic on this. It's a very polarized place politically. We've got a lot of boomers here that want to, pillage and loot the place and make theirs and get out of here.
Right.
And then there's a lot of tree huggers here that want to really respect the place and love the beauty of the place. But the other important thing is that most of Alaska is owned by the United States. So every one of your listeners has a stake in what happens here, but certainly has a stake in the national election here. So the way Paylin has behaved since he's been governor has not been in line with progressive attitude for Alaska.
Okay. How long have you been there?
I've lived here well over half my life. I've been here over 30 years.
Okay.
But I was actually born back there in Manhattan.
Oh, really?
Really? Okay, I got a question for you. How does this aerial hunting go over in Alaska? I mean, is that a big thing there? Because, if you were born in Manhattan, you know that that's something that's totally foreign to us.
That's called snipering
It should be illegal.
Yeah, well, one would think. I mean, do a lot of people do that?
No. It's a very contentious thing, and in the 20-some years I've lived here, I've seen it come and go, but I have never seen it be so widespread and so vicious as it has been under Governor Paylin. It's been one of those issues that statewide voters have voted against it twice through a ballot initiative process, but then the state legislature, 2 years after that, they started up again. So that the ballot initiative only lasts for 2 years.
So you mean the people voted against it, but the legislature overturned them?
Yes, exactly.
Well, until this last initiative, which was just held in August, in which the governor herself and the legislature put hundreds of thousands of dollars into a campaign to persuade the Alaska voter that shooting wolves from aircraft was absolutely essential for putting food on their table, and so the initiative failed. But still, as Mary Beth said, it's a very contentious issue. It has never been demonstrated to be necessary by a logical standpoint.
This is working.
Are you still there?
It's hard to hear sometimes. But yeah, we're here.
I don't think it's going to be any better on that phone.
On a landline?
Well, it might be, but here's the question I have.
Here, we have a question from another...
Is Sarah-Palin, was she given, when she was mayor of La La Land, or whatever it was called?
La La Land.
La La Land.
La La Land.
Did she actually lose the ability to run the place and an administrator was put in charge? Because that's been circulating around on the internet.
As a rumor.
That I don't know. I mean, she probably has modest administrative skills, but managing a city of 7,000 or 8,000, in a small town right outside of Anchorage, this is quirky and eclectic, to say the least. But it doesn't really prove your mettle in being an expert in this.
Greg,
what about the sports arena? Is that still in illegal limbo because she built it on somebody's land?
Right. She built the sports arena, and then she had the sports arena built, and then I think that there was some dispute over whose land it was, and that was caught up in the courts for something like 7 years. Yeah. And, you know, she put Wattsville at $22 million in debt while she was mayor. And I know $22 million doesn't seem like a lot right now to the U.S. debt.
Well, actually, right now, nobody's got 22 million bucks.
Right, yeah.
I mean, everybody's been wiped out or in the process of being wiped out. So,
Right.
let me ask you another on another subject. The so-called Troopergate situation. What do you know about that we might not?
Yeah, well, first of all, Walt Monaghan is a fine, upstanding citizen, and she's just lying through her teeth about this one. She really is.
And the other thing is that she promised to cooperate and have her staff cooperate with the investigation that the legislature began quite a bit before she was picked as McCain's running mate.
Right.
And then as soon as she was picked as the running mate, they shut down. And now essentially the Republican Party, the McCain campaign, is here in Alaska running state government, telling these witnesses that are under subpoena they should violate the subpoena and not appear. And that alone, we think, and we understand, is against the law. It's tampering. It's witness tampering.
That sure is. But this is not making it to the mainstream. That part has not made it to the mainstream news here in the lower 48.
And, you know, in Alaska, this is quite a libertarian place. You know, the heck with the federal government, and we don't care how they do it outside. It's kind of a monster.
Who controls the news?
If you've got the McCain campaign here from Texas, you know, or wherever the heck, running the show and telling witnesses not to honor legal subpoenas to appear in front of this investigative committee, then people are starting to get their hackles up, and Paylen's approval rating is sitting right now.
Is this so? This is actually going. This is going forward in the Alaskan news.
Yeah, and there are actually right now there are two investigations in parallel on this, and there's a third one that's been requested by a state legislator just yesterday, saying, "Look, isn't this jury tampering? I mean, witness tampering and obstruction of justice? If these witnesses under subpoena are being advised to not honor the subpoena, is that not a violation of the Alaska statutes?" And of course it is. So there's a third investigation by the Alaska State Troopers themselves that will be commencing here very soon, I believe. So you've got a legislative Senate Judiciary Committee investigation of this. You've got a state personnel board, which is what Paylin wanted, investigation of this, and then those are people she can hire and fire.
Right.
So obviously it stretches credulity to think that that would be an objective investigation. And then thirdly, now you have an investigation of whether this is indeed witness tampering.
So you have like McCain operatives up there who are like running that part of the show?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Alaska is being run by the Republican Party right now. It's pretty much that way.
But
right, it always has been, right.
And you know, and for a lot of the people around here, whether they're Republican or Democrat, there's a lot of folks that really do not like meddling in Alaska affairs, just like I guess any state really, but it's probably more extreme here in Alaska. And the McCain campaign has admitted that their attorneys have been in regular contact with the Attorney General in Alaska on these issues. So, you know, it's not a secret.
Right, right. It seems like she's able to just get away with anything she wants. I mean, she says, I was never for the bridge for nowhere, and yet it seems obvious that until it was quashed by outside forces, she really was in favor of it.
That's right. Yeah, not only was in favor of it until it was politically expedient not to be once it had already failed, but then another fascinating thing is, while the bridge to nowhere didn't get built, the road to nowhere did.
Yeah,
it's a little
right.
over on Gravina Island across from Ketchikan that now connects to nothing, and something like $24 million of federal funds for building this thing.
I saw a piece on that, and it's quite amazing. And then I forgot what I wanted to say. It'll come back to me again. You got anything?
Hey, you're getting video now.
You got video?
You getting video of us?
It's going up there now.
We're sending you video.
We got it.
Ah, good.
Hi.
Hi.
Couple of good-looking guys there.
Yeah, absolutely.